European gas prices again reached near record highs on Monday. EU countries are digesting the implications of Russia's decision to switch off flows down the Nord Stream 1 pipeline to Germany, announced late on Friday. European stocks dropped at the start of the week, and the euro has been trading at its lowest value against the dollar for 2 decades. Germany's Chancellor Scholz insists his country can make it through the winter without Russian gas, but Europe will need to reorganize its energy supplies. Well, for more on this, let's speak to Maria Demetz, Deputy Director of the Brussels-based economic think tank Bruegel. Thanks a lot for joining us on DW Business. This shut-off of the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, we knew it was going to be shut off. They said it was just going to be for 3 days, and then it turned out it's indefinite. But it's not a surprise, is it?
No, not at all. It's not a surprise. So the only thing is that so long as we are not making the decision, by we I mean the European Union, we suffer unpredictable consequences at the timing where Putin decides to inflict pain. So, we have to find a way of changing and controlling the message here. For as long as we don't decide, Putin then is capable of actually changing and turning the tap off whenever he likes.
So is what you're suggesting there that it should be a decision taken by the European Union to stop importing Russian gas?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But what would the impact of that be? I mean, there's a reason why that decision hasn't happened so far. It's that the EU needs Russian gas still.
Absolutely, but one way or the other, we're going to have to do without it, and we see it. It happens at the whims of President Putin. What Europe needs right now is to find a way of reducing consumption of all energy, because all energy will need to be reduced, and it needs to happen in a way that is controlled, coordinated, and co-organized. This is what European leaders will be working for this September and early in October in the following meetings that they have. The difference would be that we will control that, we will manage that. For the moment, we are simply reacting, and as we are reacting, so is the market, and we are seeing that the market prices are jumping unexpectedly in a way that is much more volatile than had it been at our own decision. And of course, the euro itself follows because it reflects a market sentiment.
So do you think that European leaders are doing enough to try and prepare for a winter without Russian gas? I mean, Chancellor Scholz seems to think that Germany's in a good position to get through, or at least to scrape through.
Well, indeed, if that is the case, then we should take the decision much faster than this. There will not be any solution without a reduction of consumption. The question is by whom, at what pace, until when. We know that next winter is going to be a difficult winter because we have to decouple from Russian energy. Oil will happen by the end of the year, and gas, well, probably will happen sooner than that, but it will not happen from us. It will happen when the Russians decide to do it. That is not good for the prices because it makes it much more volatile. Had the European Union come more decisively and said we are cutting it off immediately or at a very predictable time path, then all markets will have organized themselves accordingly, and therefore the price will be a lot more controlled. The supply is what it is. We cannot do anything about that, but what we can do is control the timetable of it.
Can we read anything into Putin's approach here of cutting off supplies to Europe in terms of what the impact of the sanctions have actually been for Russia's economy? Is it worse than the country is letting on?
Well, I think the impact of the sanctions, given the decisions that we've taken on the Russian economy, will only be in the medium term or the long term. Let's be clear about this. It will be catastrophic for the Russian economy, but we're not going to see it this winter, probably for another 6 months or so, simply because we are still relying on energy, on Russian energy. And that, of course, puts the price up. And it only benefits the revenues for the Russian economy. So that is the bit that I think we still need to fix. We have to cut it off, bite the bullet, and forbid the Russian economy from benefiting from the huge incremental prices we've seen on energy. This is the issue that needs to be resolved. The supply side, we have to cut it. But also let's be clear that the Russian economy is going to take an enormous hit, but with some delay.
OK, Maria Demetz is from Bruegel. Thank you very much for joining us here on DW Business.